Welcome back to the Cossy Arsenal channel. My name is Cossy. Welcome back to a brand new video. According to Sky Sports, they are confident Sesko will be an Arsenal player come next season. That is a big update right from Florian Plettenberg reporting for Sky Sports German. Arsenal will be closing the Sesko deal. But what is going on with that deal right at the moment? I'm going to be giving you every single update that has happened in the last few days. Also, we'll be talking about the Victor Gyökeres deal. Manchester United are there. Arsenal are still there as well. Why are Arsenal not closing the file on Victor Gyökeres if we are advancing on Sesko? I want to let you know about that as well. And then we'll talk about Ollie Watkins, reported this morning by David Ornstein that he's among the three-man options Arsenal are considering. Could there be a possibility of Arsenal signing a second striker after Sesko? Could we get another player that can actually come in as a center forward? Maybe we get two center forwards this summer. I don't know. We're going to be discussing all that and more. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel as well. Sesko is leading the rest to join Arsenal. And according to Sky Sports German, they are confident he will be an Arsenal player. So let's start off with that big report from Florian Plettenberg reporting with Sky Sports. And they're saying that RB Leipzig are expecting the first offer from Arsenal for Sesko next week, which is this week. The clubs have to find an agreement between 80 million euros to 100 million euros. I am totally convinced Sesko will play for Arsenal next season, as reported by Florian Plettenberg on behalf of Sky Sports German. Now, that statement alone means a lot of things. I mean, this is a club that are interested in three strikers at the moment. But for a Sky Sports German reporter to come out and say, I'm totally convinced Sesko will be an Arsenal player next season, that is the icing on the cake. That tells you everything about how highly Arsenal regard Sesko, and it also tells you how much money Arsenal are willing to spend on this deal. Because if you look right there, he says an agreement has to be found between RB Leipzig and Arsenal, and that will cost about 100 million euros. First and foremost, let's start off with the basics. Arsenal are expected to make a bid this week. That means that the talks that we have had with RB Leipzig and with the player have been completely positive and nothing short of promising. They've been absolutely very good talks. By the time RB Leipzig are expecting a bid, it means that Arsenal are so much invested in the player's project. It means that the Arsenal are so much invested in the talks that we are getting somewhere. And if you bid for a player, it means that player is willing to join you. I mean, yeah, there are few instances where a club can agree a price with another club and then sort out personal terms later, but that is on the rare occasion. In such instances, during normal instances, what you have is Arsenal will talk to the player, tell him what we are planning to do with him, tell him on our project, and if he's interested, if he wants to play and be a part of us, then 100% we proceed and bid for the player with RB Leipzig. So positive talks, that is the first thing we get from there. But also, Arsenal are quite advanced on this deal. A bid should be coming in very, very shortly. But why I'm convinced that this deal is actually very advanced than being reported is when Sky Sports are saying that he will be an Arsenal player, definitely. That tells you that there is not a big disparity in price. Now, I want to correct these two things. One, RB Leipzig want 100 million euros or up to 100 million euros in the overall package. That overall package could have bonuses, add-ons, and certain conditions that might be a little bit difficult, right? I mean, we have been told that RB Leipzig are looking at the Sesko valuation in the same light as Alexander Isak and Hugo Ekitike. Ekitike, at the moment, I think Frankfurt are asking for upwards of 100 million euros, of 90 million euros. That is close to 100 million euros. Alexander Isak, 150 million euros. So if you put all that together, if you put all that, you know, in the same pool, it shows you that Arsenal know the valuation of Sesko, right? Despite the fact that we don't want to overpay, we know that the right valuation of this player is between 80 million to 90 million euros. And I won't be surprised at any point in my day if the news breaks and Arsenal have paid 90 million euros for Benjamin Sesko. But this is not going to be paid once. It's not going to be paid in one installment. It's not going to be paid in one bunch. There is what we call fixed fees, which means that whatever happens, you have to pay that to the other team. And then you have bonuses. If the team wins the Champions League with Sesko, 100%, then Arsenal will give them a certain amount. If Arsenal win the Premier League, then Leipzig get a certain amount. The same, you know, we've seen these things before. We have worked with transfers. Arsenal fans, we are like transfer dealers. We know these things. And then you've got, apart from bonuses, you've got add-ons, right? There's so many things. Maybe if Sesko plays, it could be stated that if Sesko plays 30 games in his first season, RB Leipzig will get an extra 8 million. That could be done as well. So there's so many things, and I think that price is okay as long as the add-ons and the bonuses are correct. Now, apart from that update from Florian Plettenberg, thank you very much, Fabrizio also said, any moment next week, Benjamin Sesko could become Arsenal's new striker. Several meetings have taken place between Monday and Thursday last week involving Benjamin Sesko, his agent, and representatives from RB Leipzig and Arsenal to discuss the deal. Arsenal have made good progress in negotiations with both the club and the player himself. This is from the remarkable. This is from the ever-trusted. This is from Fabrizio Romano. And credit to Fabrizio. Because Fabrizio said in January that Arsenal will not sign a striker in January. They're looking to keep their powder dry. They're looking to, to wait a little bit longer until the summer, where they can sign Isak or Sesko. In fact, for Fabrizio, he never talked about any other strikers. He never. Yes, he broke the story on Watkins. He's been reporting on Victor Gyökeres. But if you think about the energy, and you think about the magnitude, and you think about the force with which he's reporting on Sesko, as compared with the force he's using to report on Gyökeres or Watkins, it tells you something. And for him to say that any moment next week, Sesko could become Arsenal's new striker, that means that this deal, I don't know. I don't know whether we are getting enough from the media on this deal, because the best outlets are actually saying that Sesko is going to become Arsenal striker any point now. That means that the talks must have been so positive. That means that everything is going on so well. And I love to hear it, because I want Arsenal to get a number 9. Again, Fabrizio reporting there that any moment Arsenal will get their man. And talks have been, meetings have been held between Monday and Thursday to make sure that Arsenal sign Benjamin Sesko. And those meetings have had the representatives of Benjamin Sesko himself, his agent, RB Leipzig, and Arsenal. So it is positively happening. This was also kind of thrown out. Philipp Heinz is a reporter for Sky Sports German as well. And he was saying that Leipzig's plan is clear. They want to generate more than 80 million euros from the transfer of Benjamin Sesko. The total fee or total package is expected to exceed 80 million euros. Arsenal remain the most clearly and concretely interested party. No breakthrough between clubs yet. Leipzig remain calm and know the player's value. That is interesting. That is very interesting, right? That is very interesting. But again, it is not different from the first two reports from Florian Plattenberg and Fabrizio Romano. It kind of says the same thing. The only difference here is that Leipzig don't. He says that Leipzig won't go below 80 million euros, and they are calm and they know the value of the player. And I think what Leipzig are trying to do there is they're smart club, very, very smart club. Don't even try to joke with them. They're a very smart club. We know they've done some very good deals. The Timo Werner deal, the Keita deal to Liverpool, Dominic Szoboszlai to Liverpool, and a couple of other deals. And they've got some good money out of their transfers. So what RB Leipzig understand is that the striker market is lying. When you think about the striker market, when you talk about the striker market right now, it kind of feels like this is, it's a good market, right? That's what it shows, right? But in actual sense, if you dissect it, how many strikers are as good as Benjamin Sesko? João Pedro, confusing. Watkins, getting very old. Victor Osimhen, very confusing situation there. Gyökeres, I don't know. So most of the clubs are either going to choose Hugo Ekitike or Benjamin Sesko. And guess who is cheaper? It's Benjamin Sesko. So for them, they're saying we want 80 million euros. It's as simple as that. If you can give us 80 million euros or slightly above that, maybe 85, maybe 90 million euros, we can let the player go. And if you sign Sesko right now, you leave Liverpool, Manchester United, and Chelsea in the battle to sign a centre forward. Don't forget, there are clubs like Galatasaray, Fenerbahce, Al-Hilal, Al-Ahli, all of them interested in signing the same forwards. So you have about 7 clubs interested in signing a centre forward, and you have about 3 or 4 good forward options. João Pedro, Osimhen, Ekitike, Gyökeres, and Sesko. Right? About 5 options, just 5 options. So let's see what's going to happen out of there. But that is an update from Philipp Haynes reporting for Sky Sports German. Now, this is according to Dean James, and he says that Al-Ahli, actually it's according to Jacob Benz, he says that Al-Ahli have held talks with Benjamin Sesko on Monday. The player side wouldn't. The player said wouldn't join prior to the Club World Cup. Okay, Arsenal are still in talks with RB Leipzig, but they're yet to make an offer. That much we already know. Now, this does not complicate things, but it does make things a little bit interesting. Al-Ahli, is it Al-Ahli or Al-Hilal? I want to get this right. Al-Hilal from Saudi Arabia, they've got the money. They've got the money, trust me. But I think for me, this is a case of Sesko choosing Saudi Arabia or choosing Arsenal or choosing Europe. Because I don't think there's so many clubs that have the spending power that Saudi Arabia has. Maybe Madrid and who? Maybe Madrid. So I think Sesko is going to have to decide. Does he choose oil money or does he choose European money? If he chooses oil money, goodbye, thank you, Al-Hilal. We can't compete with Al-Hilal. If he chooses European money, I think he's going to go to Arsenal. Quickly on the other strikers as well, I want to talk to you about Victor Gyökeres, and this has been reported by Sky Sports. And they say that Manchester United have made initial approaches for sporting striker Victor Gyökeres through intermediaries. Sky Sports has been told. Okay. That is not advanced. That is not advanced. And we've been told by Fabrizio, Arsenal have not closed the door entirely on Victor Gyökeres. Okay? His price, 70 million euros, going down. Or 80 million euros, going down. If the Sesko deal doesn't happen, if the price is too steep, then Arsenal will move into the waters to sign Gyökeres. Just a little bit on Watkins. I think Watkins is just an option, right? He's just an option, like a last-minute option if Arsenal don't get either Sesko or Gyökeres. That is where we are at the moment.